Remember that scene in The Social Network? What was your ownership share?
What was Mr. Zuckerberg's ownership share diluted down to?
It wasn't.
What was Mr. Moskowitz's ownership share diluted down to?
It wasn't.
What was Sean Parker's ownership share diluted down to?
It wasn't.
What was Peter Thiel's ownership share diluted down to?
It wasn't.
And what was your ownership share diluted down to?
0.03%.
Yeah, that line lives rent-free in every founder's head. But what if I told you that scene was actually based on real events, but even wilder in real life? Let's break down how Mark Zuckerberg turned Facebook into a billion-dollar empire by screwing over his best friend. Back in 2003, Zuck was just a heartbroken college nerd. After a breakup, he made FaceMash, the hot or not site, crashed Harvard servers, and got himself in trouble. Enter Eduardo Saverin, his rich, well-connected best friend. Eduardo fronted $15,000 to launch the Facebook. In return, he got 30% ownership. Big brain moves, right? But here's the twist. Zuck needed his money, not his friendship. While Zuck and Dustin Moskovitz moved to California to grow Facebook, Eduardo stayed in New York, working on another startup called Jaboozle. Yeah, it flopped. Zuck told him to get investors and write a business plan. Eduardo didn't deliver. So Zuck met Sean Parker, the Napster guy, and Peter Thiel, the PayPal dude. Suddenly, Zuck had big-time Silicon Valley backing. But now there's a problem. Eduardo still owned a massive chunk of Facebook, and he wasn't in the loop. Here's where things get sneaky. Zuck and Parker restructure Facebook into a Delaware C corporation. They legally diluted Eduardo's shares by creating new stock and issuing it to everyone, except him. And the masterstroke? Zuck convinced Eduardo to sign away his voting rights and to agree he wasn't technically an employee.
You signed the papers. You set me up. You're gonna blame me because you were the business head of the company and you made a bad business deal with your own company?
It's gonna be like I'm not a part of Facebook.
So now, Eduardo equals powerless, Zuck equals king. And Eduardo had no idea until it was too late. By early 2005, Eduardo is reviewing paperwork and bam. What's my ownership share? Diluted down to 0.03%. You thought the movie exaggerated? Nope, that part was real. Eduardo sued. It got messy. Lawyers, leaked emails, Sean Parker saying Eduardo wasn't adding value. Yikes. Eventually, Facebook settled. Eduardo kept the co-founder title and walked away with 5% of the company, which later became $5 billion when Facebook went public. Nice return on a $15,000 investment. Zuck? He ended up with 29% of Facebook, became one of the youngest billionaires ever, and still runs Meta today. The Winklevoss twins? They sued, settled for $65 million and went into crypto and lost a ton. Eduardo, he moved to Singapore, renounced US citizenship, and, get this, dodged hundreds of millions in taxes. Everyone became rich, but not everyone stayed friends. So, did Zuck betray his best friend, or was he just playing the startup game like a boss? Legally, he won. Ethically? You tell me. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Was Eduardo a victim, or just bad at business? And hey, if you're building your own startup, maybe read your contracts before you sign them. Like and subscribe for more internet betrayals, billionaire backstabs, and digital drama.